So in this video, we're going to take you through a dynamic warm-up. There's a bunch of exercises in here. So dynamic warm-up, in my opinion, is the best way to warm up. It prepares yourself for the event, sport, workout that you're about to do. I recommend doing a solid dynamic warm-up to get your heart going and get a little sweat going before the event or sport or workout, rather than just doing static stretches in place or ballistic stretches. Make sure you're doing a dynamic warm-up first with light static stretching afterwards. And then at the end of the workout, you can cool down by doing some static and some passive stretching, maybe some partner stretching. But I highly recommend doing a dynamic warm-up stretching routine before your activity. Again, it prepares your body for what you're about to do, and it mirrors the exercises you're about to do. And studies have shown that doing a dynamic workout will prevent muscle tears, hamstring pulls, that type of thing. Because just standing in place and doing, your regular hamstring stretch, bend down, touch your toes, that doesn't mirror the exercise you're about to perform at all. Running, there's that stretch shortening cycle in there. So just standing still and bending over and touching your toes is not preparing those muscle fibers for the intensity and strenuous activity that you're about to do. So let's get started with this dynamic warm up. Put a bunch of exercises in here for you. So I put 2 cones down. You can see the cones. There's one on the left, one on the right. They're about 15 yards apart, but you can put any type of marker down, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards apart. My first exercise here, I'm just taking my time, real methodical about it. I'm walking and doing a quad stretch, alternate quad stretch, loosening up front of my leg, my quads. Second exercise, I'm doing a walking. I'm bending over, keeping my lead leg straight, alternate arm, alternate leg. I'm bending over, touching my toes with a slight bend in my leg. You can call these walking alternate RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. So I'm getting a good stretch in my hamstrings, the back of my leg. Here I'm doing walking alternate hamstring stretch. I'm kicking my leg out in front, alternate arm, alternate leg. You can actually swing your leg on the way back, alternate leg kick, loosening up those hamstrings, firing those muscle fibers in the back of my leg, my hamstring muscles. Next exercise, again, I'm walking. I'm pulling my knee up to my chest. Now I'm stretching my glutes, my hips. So this whole dynamic warm-up, I'm progressing until, single muscle movements, and then I'm gradually progressing into multi-joint, multi-muscle groups. Easy to hard. Again, this is a warm-up. Can't just jump right in. Take it easy. We're getting our body loose. So here I'm doing a runner stretch. Walk, lunge out, good runner stretch. My hip, my groin area. I'm going to kick my leg out. Bend over, reach for my toes, stretching my hamstrings. And go in the runner stretch again, kick my leg out. Good stretch, hamstrings. I'm alternating here. I'm not doing the same leg each rep, so I'm alternating. Hip, hamstring, your lumbar, lower back. Again, kind of going down into a deep runner's lunge. And I'm adding a rotation to it. So I'm adding another plane of movement. So when I lunge, I'm in the sagittal plane. And then when I rotate, I'm in the transverse plane. Remember, watch my video on types of movements, the different planes of movements. Make sure to incorporate all three. And make sure to do this in our stretching as well in our warm-up. Okay. Little faster pace lunge here. Lunge / runner stretch. Remember, this dynamic warm-up is a progression, easy, gradually getting more intense, more body parts are involved. Now I'm doing a reverse lunge. Reverse lunge. Watch my arms. My arms are involved. I'm pumping them like I'm running. My upper body is perpendicular to ground, head and neck and spine. My lead leg, knee is not getting out in front of my toes. This warm-up's not a race. It's not trying to see how many reps you can do within the distance there. Concentrate on form. Concentrate on your breathing. Now my arms are over my head. I'm leaning side to side. I'm getting a good stretch in my lumbar spine, my obliques, my lats. Multi-muscle movement here with the runner stretch. Okay, I'm progressing. It's a jumping lunge in place. My arms are pumping. Alternate arm, alternate leg. Side to side, moving back to forth. This is more ballistic stretching. Now I'm in the frontal plane. Lateral movement, side to side. I'm in the frontal plane. Good stretch for inner thighs, your hips, hamstrings, lower back. Flexibility in your hips, hamstrings. It's crucial for team sports, athletes out there. Okay. Now I'm progressing. Really striding out there, touching the ground, getting deep into that lateral lunge, really getting into those hips, groin, inner thigh. Remember, take your time. It's not about how fast you're doing it. Do it right. So on this exercise, I went down. That lead leg, you'll really feel that stretch in the inner thigh and your hamstring on that back leg, whereas your front leg's more in your hips. So I make sure to do it down, then back, so I can hit both sides. Really getting down there. These dynamic warm-ups and stretching, it's for your benefit. Continuing with hips. Up and out, up and in. So I'm working hips, abductors, adductors, abductors. Just pretend you're stepping over a string. Stepping over a string. Lead hip rotates out. Rear hip rotates in. Now I'm going back, doing the opposite direction. Up and over the string. Up and over the string. Hips, groin. If you add this as part of your, stretching routine, your warm-up routine, you'll get stronger. It won't be as hard over time. Okay, progressing again. High knees. With a good arm pump. Butt kickers. Heel goes your butt. Good arm swing, pumping those arms. These are called mule kicks. So I'm bending over. I'm trying to keep my legs as straight as possible, and I'm kicking back toward the sky. I'm bending over, good arm pump, mule kicks. These are glutes and hamstrings. Lateral slides, lateral slides, lateral slides. Karaoke, transverse plane. Hip rotation. Skips. Nice and easy skips. Watch my arms, good arm pump. Skipping. Power skips, arm pump. You're jumping as high as you can. Power up. Jumping as high as you can. Power skips. Skaters, back and forth. Skaters. Broad jumps with a good arm swing. Land, arm swing back, swing forward. Swing back, forward. Broad jumps. Bunny hops, I'm on my toes. Don't forget about those calves and Achilles tendon. Take care of those. For you baseball players out there, this is mirroring, base running. So that was a straight steal with no secondary lead. There's your one hop secondary lead. And now you're on second base with a good two hop secondary lead. And boom, go. Here's your dynamic warm-up. Now I'm doing some static stretching my calves out. Alternating. Stretching my calves. Like a pigeon stretch. Stretching my hip flexors. Really great stretch here. Do both sides. Now I'm doing my left. Again, do a dynamic warm-up. Followed up by a little bit of static stretching. You'll be good to go. Again, working on my hip flexors. Trying to pull my knee to my chest. This is probably the best hip stretch, in my opinion. Really feel it. Pull your knee to your chest. Rotate over. Knee goes one direction. Upper body and head goes in the opposite direction. You're stretching that lumbar spine, those obliques. Same thing to the other side. Leg goes one way. Chest and head goes the opposite direction. Both knees to the chest. Stretching it back. Leg cross. Leg goes over. Upper body and head goes the opposite direction. Stretching that back. Remember, 3 tightest areas of your body: hamstrings, lower back, and your neck. Don't neglect those. Make sure you concentrate and add those to your repertoire of stretching. Doing butterflies here, stretching the groin, inner thighs. That exercise I call bear in the woods. Again, you're stretching your groin, inner thighs. There you have it, folks. There was a 15-minute dynamic warm-up followed with some light static stretching. Hopefully you liked the video. Make sure to like and share, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.